hosted by Mike, the Big Cheese.
Welcome back to the Heavy Metal Mayhem Radio Show. It is Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you guys had a great day today. Hope you got a drawer full of socks from your spouses and your kids, because I know I did. That's a common gift. I got enough socks to time you over to the next sock giving holiday, which is my birthday, my anniversary, and Christmas. So happy Father's Day, to everybody out there. We kick things off tonight with Hitman, Caught in the Crossfire. I remember seeing those guys for the first time back in 1985, I want to say. My God, it keeps getting longer and longer back in time. But I don't know what's going on with the guys. They had a new album out about 5 years ago called Destroy All Humans. A lot of people thought it was kind of hit and miss. They were looking for more of that classic, Hitman sound from this first record, but that's not what they got. But I don't know. I haven't heard much about them or what's happening with the band, so maybe I'll reach out to Dirk and find out what's going on. Matter of fact, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday there. We'll find out what's happening with Hitman. But we got a great show for everybody tonight. Tom Lorenzo from Bastard Skull is our guest. They just released their debut record this year, a few months ago, and it is phenomenal. If you haven't picked it up, I suggest that you go out there right now and do so. It's a great one. All right, I already can't believe we're already halfway through the year. It's the middle of June. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I guess everybody said as you get older, time goes fast. When you're a kid, you can't wait to turn 18 so you can go out and start doing stuff, right? Your parents telling you what to do. Then you want to be 21 to start drinking. And now I wish I go back to being 18 and 21 or 16 again, because it keeps going faster and faster time. There's no slowing it down, I hate to say. Oh, dear Lord, I'm getting old. All right, well, we lost another one this week. It's been, one of those years. Steve Hardy, the original guitar player and founder member of the new wave of British heavy metal band Battle Axe, he passed away the other day. It just seems like it's one of those years, but that's what happens. Like I just said, we're all getting older. Time is moving on, and, the world isn't for all of us. Some of us have to move on. Hopefully, for me, it'll be much, much later on. That's all I can say. But how about we play some Battle Axe? I don't know what I have. Let me see. Let's get something off the debut record. Here's Thor, Thunder Angel for Steve.
He will be watching over you.
for eternity. Everything you do just brings you down. Making and breaking convention. Life is just a gun. Wheeling and dealing apart one whole of the same. Now you stuck in a diving, a loser could win. And for a new direction, that's how to begin. Fantasy makes the world hollow. Away from this routine. Aim for a new tomorrow. Come now with me. Darkest before the dawn. Darkest before the dawn. Fussing and fighting, a waste of your time, it's a certainty. Don't take what you want, only get what you need. A time for revolution, just live for today. Find your karma solution, a better way. Darkest before the dawn. Darkest before the dawn. Don't you hear what I say? Good times are not far away. You just need to believe and pray. Gotta find a way. Fantasy makes the world hollow. Away from this routine. Aim for a new tomorrow. Come now with me. Darkest before the dawn. Darkest before the dawn. Darkest before the dawn. Darkest before the
I figure since we're in England for that set, we do a little new wave of British heavy metal thing over there. We started out with Battle Axe, Thor, Thunder Angel, Grim Reaper with the Wrath of the Ripper. I do miss Steve Grimmett. He was always fun to have on the show and a voice that we won't get to hear no more on any new music. And right there, Clovenhoof off the latest record, Darkest Before the Dawn. I want to wish my dear friend Lee a very happy birthday today, even though I think over in England it's tomorrow, so it's actually a day late for his birthday, but here it's still your birthday, Lee, so happy birthday, buddy. We'll be talking to Lee again soon, hopefully with a new record coming out. I know they're working on it right now. I was kind of disappointed, when George Cole and the band kind of parted ways, 'cause I really thought those last 3 hours of Cloverleaf did were tremendous, and, I was a little on the fence about it when I heard that he was joining the band because, like I said, an American joining a British band, a new wave of British heavy metal band, I didn't think it was going to work out, but those albums would just kick ass. But I mean, the new one, Heathen's Cross, with with the Tyrant on vocals. I mean, you can't beat that. They did a great job on it. I'm looking forward to the next one. Ah, all right. Well, I know I was watching some of the video clips of Sabotage over Europe. They started their tour over there, and I don't know. I mean, they only did Sirens and Hall of the Mountain King from the earlier stuff. I guess they kind of have to do Hall of the Mountain King, considering it was one of the biggest songs in the early days of the band. And Sirens is a classic, but everything else was just all of the later era stuff. You know, the Zach Stevens stuff, which I get because he's singing in front of the band right now. But are these fans really that crazy about going to see the band and hearing songs off of Poets and Madmen, The Wake of Magellan, Dead Winter Dead, or Handful of Rain, or Edge of Thorns? I know I wouldn't be. I mean, I didn't care for any of those records. In my, I mean, I know we had Chris Caffrey on the show last week, and I mentioned it to him about, being more of like a tribute band or a cover band, and his answer was, well, I'm the second guitarist in the band and the original second guitarist, so it's still kind of my thing, and I guess I got to go with that because of him. But I would be disappointed if I went to go see Sabotage and Jean Olive at least wasn't there, the one main member of the band. That's just me personally, but you look at the audience and they're going crazy, and the shows are sold out. So I don't know, who am I to say? Okay, let's get back to a band I would love to have seen reunited. We lost one of the band members a couple of years back, and I don't think anything is ever going to happen with them again. But some Blessed Death off the first record, Knights of Old Bridge.
Knights of Old Bridge. and think of days gone past. The kings, they enter my mind, born leaders of the quest. Wild bird, we live for thee. Wild bird, we die for thee. Brother
All right, the mighty blessed death of Knights of Old Bridge, and that says some classic testament with Disciples of the Watch. The band is working on their newest record. I think we are going to get it this year, and we'll probably have Chuck Billy back on the show when it comes out. And we close things off with Centaurian in the Night. It's been a long time since I played them on the show. I forgot how good those guys were. All right, we're going to get the time in about a few more minutes. How about we play some Sneak Attack? The band, Basisco Ultra features Mark Mary from Sneak Attack and Either Breather. We had Mark on the show a long, long time ago. So let's play some Sneak Attack, and then after that, we'll play some Basisco and give Tom a call.
Kids come from everywhere just to see you go. The way to put a flower, yeah, I'm getting down. Decorated to the hill in leather the winds train. Ain't gonna get a vessel that's over and run. 10,000 kids, raise the fire in the air.
All right, brand new Bastard Skull after the plague. Let's get Tom on the line. Right before that, we did Sneak Attack with Ultrasonic Metal. Mike McGovern, better known as Mac, the singer of that band, has some powerful voice, man. Sort of reminds me of Blitz in a way, especially that song. All right, let's get Tom on the line and enough of this little chit chat here. Let's get this interview going. All right, let's dial him up right now. Here we go.
Hello,
Tom, this is Mike calling for our interview. How are you, buddy?
Mike. How you doing? Give me a second.
You got it.
I'm like kind of working, making deliveries, but I'm gonna get in the car. Let me
Go
get you
ahead.
on the let me get you on the stereo. Hold on,
You got it.
give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry.
No
I
problem.
figured.
We all
Yeah.
gotta, we all gotta work.
No. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I'm out and about right now. Hold on.
Turn yourself in because the
Are you there, pal?
I'm there, buddy.
I got you. Cool. Awesome.
Well, that's great.
How's
Hey,
it
listen,
going?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, we just played some Bastard Skull for everybody, for people that haven't heard it yet. I mean, holy shit, you blew me
Yeah.
away with this band. A couple of years ago, I'm looking at some pictures on Facebook of Blood Feast. I see you're not in there no more. I'm like, what the hell happened? How's Tom not in the band? And then I hear about Bastard Skull, and we wait for music to come out. It took a couple of years, and my God, you hit a home run with this album, man.
You know what, bro? Thank you so much. And it was completely out of my hands. Everything. Are we on the air now?
You're on the air live, yeah. I should have said that when I put you on. I'm sorry.
No, it's just it was a complete. It was like it happened so I can't believe it how it happened. It was such a good stroke of luck. Like was it November 2022, right?
Yeah,
That was it. I was out of Blood Feast. Without going into any details or I was out after literally 20 years.
yeah,
I had 8 years with the first band with Adam, the drummer and guitar player, and then Blood Feast started in 2010. Was it 2010? Yeah, and then so 20 years and I was out. So I was like, all right. And then that same week was November 4th, I think, was the day I got I made the phone call or whatever. And that week, Merciful Fate played at the King's Theater in Brooklyn.
yeah.
By chance, right? By chance. I'm still sitting there, kind of reeling from my situation. And by chance, the day of the show, a friend of mine from Jersey sends me a text. Hey, pal, you want my ticket to Merciful Fate tonight at the King's Theater? I go, are you kidding me? He goes, no, it's all me, bro. All yours. He sent it to me on Ticketmaster, the app. So I'm like, what a great stroke of luck, So I drive to Brooklyn. I go to the show. I get a parking spot right across the street.
That's
Like,
worth more than
literally.
the free tickets. That's better than the free tickets.
I get a parking spot right across the street on Flatbush Avenue, right across the street from
Yeah.
the King's Theater. And of course, I get out now. I'm the mayor. I know everybody, right? It's my scene, whatever. And I'm walking around and I'm seeing people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm out of Blood Feast. They're like, what? They go, dude, you are Blood Feast. I'm like, whatever. So what happens right before I go up to my seat, I need to use the bathroom. I run to the bathroom. Who do I run into? John Bliage, the guitar player I played with in Blood Feast from 2010 to 2014. I hadn't seen him since 2014 because he had also had an exit back then. So 8 years later, we run into each other at the show. I see him. I go, dude, I'm not in Blood Feast anymore. And he lives in Bayonne. He's 8 minutes from me.
Yeah.
I'm in Staten Island. He's in Bayonne, New Jersey. He goes, get a drummer, bro. We'll start playing. I'm like, awesome. So we going back and forth. I bring my equipment to his house because he's got a good place to jam in his house. Then he says to me one day, because we're going back and forth, trying to get a name, trying to get all this stuff together. He goes, I got a bass player already. Why don't you just sing? And I go, dude, I'm not a singer. He goes, no, yeah, you are. And he wanted to do this years ago with me, like even when we were Blood Feast together. He even made a suggestion, hey, man, we should do something on the side. You should play bass and sing. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It never came to fruition. But then, of course, so he goes, let's do this. He comes up with the name, Bastard Skull. He starts writing music. Now, I'm writing lyrics. I was never a lyricist, per se, But here I am now up to, song number 14 or 15, because we got 8 on the first album. We have 3 coming out soon, like on the EP, and we got a new set of songs coming up. And him and the guys have been, him and the drummer and the guitar player, him and Mark and George have been working on the music the last few weeks. And I've been indisposed. My car went down, whatever, so I hadn't been to rehearsal, but I've been, getting the music from them online, on text messages and stuff. Yeah. And I'm coming up with new lyrics. So I'm like, all of a sudden now I'm a lyricist and a lead vocalist in Bastard Skull.
Who would
and
have thought?
That brings us here right now, yeah. Who would have thought? Me. The last thing. Yeah. And I'll thank you for your compliment, because, I'm getting a lot of good feedback on it.
You guys did a great job on this record. I mean, it's just, what it is? It's brutal, but yet it's catchy, if that makes any sense. You can remember the songs as brutal as they are. That doesn't come too often.
You know what? People have been giving us great, and I'm still kind of come up with I'm trying to compare it to stuff. And I can't really, because it's really kind of really original. Like, I saw we had a review, one thing they said, thrash and roll. And I go, you know what? That's a pretty good description of it. It's thrashy, it's heavy, but we got this kind of, I don't want to say rock and roll thing going on, but I guess that's what's happening. It's hard for me to kind of look at it and have a definite description of it. It's like, I love when I get, like I said, you gave us a nice compliment. Thank you so much for giving that, but we've been getting some good stuff. People have been, giving us some good words. So all I can say is, I'm happy. I'm still in the game.
That's got to make you feel good. And when you first started posting about the band and everything, and then I was like, Tom is a singer. I mean, does it feel like you're naked up there without your bass? Because after being a bass player your whole life and being in every band as a bass player, now you got is a microphone in front of you. You got to feel kind of naked, like an alone up there.
You know what, bro? And I still kind of having a hard time, approaching it. I got this gauntlets, to wear, kind of the Judas Priest kind of, gauntlets to wear, the kind of. But I'm looking at them going, oh man, I gotta do some running, man. I gotta get belly down a little bit, because I was able to hide behind it with the instrument, But bro, you hit it right on the head too. It's crazy, man. But you know what?
It's a weird feeling when, I played bass myself and played in bands in the 80s, and I remember a couple of times just taking off the bass and go up to the mic to adjust it. I'm like, I feel naked up here. I feel like I shouldn't be up here without the bass in my hand or the guitar in my hand. It's a weird feeling when you play it all the time.
Well, I did backup vocals in a lot of bands and stuff, and I did co-vocals too, and some of the, did pieces of the songs, not full-on lead singing through the whole songs, but and I can handle it pretty well, I mean, it's hard sometimes, come on, when you're playing an instrument and lead singing at the same time, it's hard to kind of, you can't think about either or. That's the way I discovered it, right? And so when I'm doing just the vocal thing, and I don't have anybody backing me up either, it's just me, so
yeah.
It's a weird thing, it is, and I'm still kind of getting used to it, but we got a couple of good shows under our belts, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a thing, and people had nothing but nice things to say. So I mean, I don't know if they're just being nice, but but I really I'm happy to do what I'm doing, and I'm okay. I think we're doing all right. So, but we got a strong fucking band too. Oh, excuse me, can I say that?
Yeah, sure you can. Nobody's listening anyway.
Yeah. Dude, I got a strong band behind me, man. I got some great fucking players, Demon. These are great guys, man. John's an excellent guitar player, an excellent riff writer, and he's pretty much the captain of the band. So, what he's, how he's guiding us through, and I'm just like, I'm just following his lead, but he's telling me what to do, and I'm pretty much just following it. And George, the bass player, more of an old school kind of guy. He's great with the metal stuff, but he was more of kind of Black Sabbath too, kind of Zeppelin thing. But still,
Yeah.
he was into the metal and the punk stuff too. He knows his stuff. But me and George are the same age. George's a little younger, and Mark, our drummer's a little older. So that kind of gives us an interesting dynamic too. So, but yeah. So, and me and George being bass players, and it's funny because I go, George, my bass player, and I'm like, I never said that in my life before. I was always the bass player.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
yeah, you know what? It feels good, man. Every time we get together, and those guys are on the money, man. They're such great players, and I'm really happy to be part of it. So I'm lucky to be where I am. So I'm just concentrating and staying focused and moving forward and see what we can do.
I'm glad for you. When you're out there playing live and rehearsing and you look over at George during the song, does he say to himself, I wonder if he's complimenting me or criticizing my bass playing?
No, I come. You know what? He seems so focused on what he's doing, and I think we all are. It's kind of, but he's a killer player, man. I'm like, if I mean, he uses a pick. I know he was a finger player too, but he uses a pick in this band, and I'm all the way like a finger guy too, So, but I give him a little more credit than what I got. I think he's got a little bit of a better left hand than I do. I think, but I haven't played in a while either. I'm ashamed of myself. I haven't played my bass. Once in a while I'll sit down at home, but I mean I haven't played out. In what? Since 2022. The last time I did a show was in Washington, D.C. We did a little double thing with friends of ours from Virginia, a band called the Abominog.
Yep.
And we did PA, and we did Philly, and then we did D.C. And that was the last two shows I did with aforementioned band. So it was weird, man. But, yeah. So I've just been concentrating on doing the vocal thing and getting the lyrics written and that, pretty much just doing my job, doing what I have to do. So,
well, you guys are doing a great
yeah.
job. When I first heard about this thing happening, then I saw that Mark was the drummer. Now, I had Mark on my show probably a decade or so ago to talk about Either Breather and Sneak Attack and those great Jersey bands he was in back in the day. I couldn't believe you guys got him in the band because I thought he was kind of like done with music. I tried to get him to reunite Sneak Attack. It didn't happen. And after that, I said, he's done with music. Then he started playing with you guys. I was like, holy shit, this is great.
He's a Bayonne guy. So John, George is from Jersey City, but he's been playing with John since like the early '90s, I think. They've been doing a lot of stuff together, different types of stuff too, not just metal. More like, But Mark is a Bayonne guy. So John had found him through one of the studios we were going to record the first sessions with. There was another thing, but. Yeah, so, I'm like the odd man out. I'm the Staten Island guy, but I'm right across the bridge. I'm right there. I could literally walk to rehearsal if I wanted to, And it's funny because I just walked over the bridge the other night. It was weird. I had a job and I was doing something, and I came home and I had to walk over the bridge. So. Anyway, but yeah, I'm always the lone New Yorker in the band because everybody else in Blood Feast was from Jersey and all that stuff. So.
Hey, well, listen, I'm a Staten Islander myself, so you got me here with you tonight. So we could have did an in-person interview. We could have did it here in the studio.
I thought you were in Brooklyn.
I came from Brooklyn, but I moved out here like 35 years ago. I'm in New Dorp.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn too, but I moved here when I was 3. So yeah, I'm kind of a Staten Islander.
Yeah, you're almost native.
Yeah, exactly. Almost.
I'm the one that the natives curse at for coming in from Brooklyn and ruining Staten Island.
Well, we all got that. So but I came in like just in time, I guess. We kind of filled in the spaces. But yeah, I mean, in a way, it's good because I'm kind of in a central kind of area. If you think physically, I'm like in Staten Island. I'm between Brooklyn. I'm between New York. Between New Jersey.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of a good way. And as long as you got a car, so luckily
true.
I still have the car left. So.
Well, that's good.
But,
Tom, talking about Bastard Skull now, I mean, you guys did this record on your own. You released it on your own. Did you try to shop it around to a label, or you think maybe with the next release, or do you just rather just do it on your own and be completely independent?
I don't want to give too much away, but we are signed. We got signed to a label called Wormhole Death Records. They're based in Italy. in Los Angeles, I believe. John has got more. John is doing more of that footwork with that, but he's the one who got that set up. But yeah, they came to us, I believe, and John got it all together now. John's been doing a lot of this stuff. I can't even really kind of, I can't even really comment on it because there's so much going on, and he's taking care of so much stuff. So we're kind of a lot of steps ahead, which is good, but not bad for a band. And, pretty much, we started, getting together around the beginning of 2023 because 2022 was like the inception, and we started, but it was towards the end of the year, November. Like I said, I hooked up back with him in November, just by chance. That's the beautiful thing about it, was that we just bumped into each other and just happened by chance, and then, so the beginning of 2023 is when we physically got together and started writing the music and getting it together and doing the recordings and, so right where we are now, we're at a good spot. Not bad, right? A little over 2 years later, and we're kind of, we're moving along, and we got some good stuff coming.
Yeah. I think that's the way. Yeah. I think it always works out best that way. When things happen quick and they move along that way, things. I mean, when you first started hearing the music come together, do you say to yourself, "Hey, you know what? We really got something here," or do you think like, "Hey, we got to work on this some more"? But it seems to me like everything just came together perfectly.
I want to say it kind of came together perfectly, but nothing's ever perfect. But the thing is, how it happened for me personally, like, out of one thing and stepping right into another. It's like I stepped on that rake of good luck. I stepped on the rake and it smacked me in the face, and I was like, boom, holy shit, I'm here now. Look at this. This is great. So like, it was almost stepping in the direction in a good way, and it just everything just came together. So yeah, I guess it's as perfect as it could be. Because we're doing well, everything's coming together. Things are moving forward fast enough. I think we're going to get back into recording sometime towards the middle or end of this year, like towards the end of like summertime, I guess. Right. It's still kind of up in the air, but yeah, we're going to go back in again, and we're going to get some stuff going on. And like I said, we got some stuff coming up. I don't want to say anything yet because I don't want to, but we got some good shows coming up too. So, but yeah. Things are going really well.
That's
as far as I can say.
That's perfect, because we get a new record maybe next year. You strike while the iron is hot. And the way you said before, thrash and roll, I think is the perfect way to describe this band, because as heavy as you are, as intense as you are, I mean, listen, you go back to songs by Destruction, Sodom, Celtic Frost, and as heavy as they were, you could remember the songs. I think a problem a lot of bands have today is that they don't make songs memorable. It doesn't have to be radio catchy, AOR, it just has to be memorable. I think you've done that with every song on this record, which is impressive to me, because I can hum it, sing it, and not as good as you, obviously, but, it's there. You remember the music. And I think that's the most important part about music, is that you remember it.
Well, that's exactly. I always looked at it this way. I wish I was more of like a riff writer. That's John. John's the riff writer. And apparently I'm the lyricist, but he comes up with some ideas. He gives me some titles, or he'll give me a chorus part. He'll say, well, maybe we say this here. It sounds catchier this way. And, so we work on the stuff together. But usually I go home, I work on I get the music from him with no lyrics on it enough, and I come up with the stuff. I come up with the idea for the songs, the subject matter and all that stuff. And, try to keep it, somewhat metal, tough or whatever, But things seem to be working very well. And,
how difficult was it to become a lyricist after not doing it, ever before? So, I mean, coming up with ideas, we live in...
I always wrote stuff down, but honestly, nobody was like kind of, hey man, come on, write some stuff. I got that a few times from the other band, and then I would come up with something and I'd show it to them, and then it wouldn't get used, or it wasn't. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to bother anymore. So and I used to write some stuff down now and again, just come up with stuff, and then but now I'm actually encouraged. I'm like, dude, now it's my job. Now it's like, dude, get this done. It's like, they're yelling at me to finish it. So it's not even like I need to be encouraged anymore. I'm being pushed to come up with product. So it's coming up, and I show it to them, and if they're happy, I'm happy. So that's the way I gauge it too. Because I'm like I said, I'm not that experienced with it. I mean, I am, but I'm not. It's weird because I've been at it so long. I've been doing this thing for so long, but at the same time, and when John said, "Hey, dude, you got to sing," and I'm like, "I'm not a singer," and he goes, "Yeah, you are." So I was like, I knew I could do it. I knew I could pull it off. So I did. And now I'm just kind of, I got enough confidence in it to kind of just move forward with it and just, do what I got to do. And I still want, I still want an opinion. I still want somebody to tell me what they think of it. So if you don't like that, let me know, or we can change this or change that. I'm not really, I don't really get too, I don't get too stuck on like, oh, I wanted that. If he goes, why don't we do it this way? I go, okay. So like give and take, which is great. It feels good. It's working together about it. That's the whole thing. Nobody's
Yeah.
like, nobody's going, oh, this is mine, this is mine. It's just
Compromise is
everybody's
a hard
doing their
thing.
thing.
Compromise is a
Yeah.
hard thing when you're a musician because everybody wants to be. Listen, you got some great musicians out there, but not everybody is a songwriter. Whether it's lyrics or music, you got amazing bass players and guitar players. They can't write a lick of music. They just don't know how to do it. They don't have it in them. It doesn't take away from the
Yeah.
talent. So I mean, every band has that guy who's going to do something, and there are bands that we have multiple members that contribute to it. And in the end, you got to compromise to make it work out. And obviously, it's working for you. Whatever you guys are doing, it's working. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and bro, you know what, man? I thank you so much for that because you know what? You're not the only one that's actually giving us like some honest feedback and some honest, like nice things about the music. And I'm just kind of like, great, man. And people are saying nice things. We got a couple of reviews. Some I can't remember the exact magazines. The two German magazines did like some short reviews, and they gave us a nice little short, direct kind of review. Nothing negative. They just gave us a little bump, which is nice.
Yeah.
So we're doing something right, I think. It feels good. It feels like that too. It feels good. Like deep down in your heart, it feels good to us.
Sure.
So
Listen, it's a crowded field of music out there. So to get yourself, even though you have the reputation from Blood Feast and Without End, and and you got Dumoth. Is that still happening, Dumoth? Is that thing happening with that band anymore?
No, oh my, the guitar. Well, we hadn't done it for a while anyway, because he lives so far away. But unfortunately, Daryl Creel, the guitarist that started that, he passed away not too long ago. He died about 6 months ago, I guess, maybe a little less than that. Maybe it was even. It wasn't that long at all. It was only a few months ago, I think. Yeah, he passed away. He's a good buddy of mine. We used to talk on the phone. We didn't see each other in person that much. Actually, Abominog was the band he was in. And we played those two last shows that I did with Blood Feast in Philly and D.C. But the last two times I seen him, and it was good. And his band, they're a bunch of nice guys, good dudes. They've been around for years too. Abominog, the great great death metal band. Well, I think they got 30 years now. Those guys, but they're from the Northern Virginia, D.C. area. And the great band. I think they'll hopefully they got another guitar player. I was just talking to the bass player not too long ago. But yeah, poor Daryl. That was the one I did Dumoth with. He passed away.
Yeah.
And that's because I even wanted to try to get something back with him, because he was, he moved back. He was living in like central Pennsylvania, over near like Harrisburg, but he moved back to where he was from, which was like near Richmond, Virginia, which is actually closer than, when we were meeting in Philadelphia when we were doing the Dumoth thing. But yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. And
Yeah,
a
that was
great
some good
man
stuff.
and a great guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Good stuff. I mean, do you think is Bastard Skull enough for you now, or do you think maybe you want another band going on, a second band on the side, where you're back to playing bass again? Are you just content to put all your effort into Bastard
Look,
Skull right now?
I would love to play my bass again, man. I feel like I'm like a bad kid, man. I haven't played my bass in a while. What a bad kid I am. But right now, my focus is on Bastard Skull. Let's get this thing moving. Let us get some great shows. Let's hopefully get some tours going on. Get something real out of it before we all get too old.
That's what's happening to all of us, Tom. We're all getting up there. But with the
man.
I deal with Wormhole Death a lot. They're one of the labels that I work closely with on my show, and they're going to do a great job of promoting that record when it comes out. I mean, it's not easy trying to put. There's so many bands out there trying to find a band that you want to hear and get your music out there. It's not that easy today. Even though people know you, like I was saying, from all those other bands, it's still not easy to do it. And you guys kind of did, I think, a good job on your own for this first record, getting it out there, getting people people to hear it, getting the publicity you need. I think Wormhole Death is just going to take it to the next level when the next release comes out.
And, from what John said, that they're an excellent label. They're going to work
They
with
are.
us. They're going to get us going to get us up there. It's like we don't even have anything physically out. No, we don't have anything tangible right now. We don't have CDs or anything. So right now everything is on digital. So I think they're going to do the CDs for us. So I don't know how that's going to work exactly, how that deal is going, but yeah, hopefully we'll have some kind of physical music out there, physical CDs out there within a few months. So,
That'd
but
be
right
great.
now we're just still working on a new recording. I guess we're just getting new songs down, and it's moving pretty quick too. So actually, I got to get myself into gear with that. So.
Well,
But
musically, where's
yeah,
the band going with this with the new music? Is it just a continuation of where the first album is left off, or
I
anything
pretty
different?
much. Yeah, the music I think is pretty much it's going to stay the same. Hopefully, you evolve into something, But I don't know. For me, I like to think that we're going to naturally kind of move, to something else like that. Not something else, but just kind of naturally evolve musically. I guess. I like it when you don't even know it's happening. I guess in a way, because it all comes out in the studio. So the last time we were when we recorded the new album, the first album, this new thing. We had Mike Sabatini, the drummer from Attacker. We worked in his
Yeah,
studio in Jersey City.
band
What's the name
mother,
of the studio again?
band mother.
Yeah, Dan. Thank you. So I know I wear the shirt all the time, but I forget the name. Yeah. Mike had a lot to do with, kind of getting us in a cool direction. And he's, he knows his stuff. Attacker's an awesome band, and also he knows his way around the metal, of course. So. Yeah, that was a big help too. So I just hope we kind of naturally just kind of evolve into something that we are. I mean, the best thing you can do is just be your own thing, right? Be your own original sound, So when somebody hears you, go, "Hey, that's Basket Skull," and saying, "Hey, is that Slayer or is that Sodom?"
Yeah,
If somebody goes, "Hey, there's that thing that they do," that's who they are. I mean, hopefully we'll get that. I think we are. I think we're going to get that.
I absolutely think you will. I mean, like you said,
Yeah,
evolving naturally is one thing. It's going to happen as you guys become tighter as a unit, work more together, put more records out, more songs out. It's another thing
yeah.
when you start changing your sound to appease, whatever's happening at the time. I mean, listen, Judas
Well,
Priest
that's
went
always
hair
the worst
metal,
thing you can do. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just kills the legacy of the band, in my opinion. So I don't think you guys will ever do that. But yeah, I can just see the songs evolving more as time goes on.
Yeah, I also, people like, well, who do you sound like? What's your voice sound like? Some of my friends that I know musicians, I go, dude, I can't really compare myself to anybody because I haven't been doing it long enough to kind of rip anybody off, I guess. So I don't know, just do what I do. I mean, obviously my New York thing comes out. You can kind of feel that. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot of people have kind of put that kind of New York like hardcore kind of thing, I guess. I mean, I grew up on all that stuff. You couldn't play heavy music in the '80s in the five boroughs of New York and not have some sort of influence from hardcore or crossover kind of stuff. I mean,
yeah.
one of my favorite bands of all time is Carnivore from Brooklyn. I mean, so right there. I mean, Nuclear Assault is also one of my favorite bands. I mean, so, but but it's I guess it's just my New York flavor comes out in it. I don't know. It's just I hope I get something to where people are going, "Hey, that's pretty cool. I like what he's doing." It's not like, "Hey, that's pretty cool, but he sounds like this person." So I want to have an original kind of sound. Good. And like I said, my guys, they got such great like styles. You know, Mark's a little older than us, so he's got more of a, he's. I'm not gonna say it's hard to explain because he's not like just a straight up thrash drummer.
No, he's not.
But he came up in the area. I mean, he was hanging out with the guys from Raven when they first came here in the early '80s. He's good friends with those guys. And he knew, like he hung out with Metallica when they first came here, when they were like, getting signed to Megaforce Records. So he was around at that part. So he's got that kind of history behind him. So it's cool. There's a good history behind us too. We all have something we're bringing to the table. personality-wise, music-wise, so, things are cool. Things are looking up. Not bad.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's why you
That's the
guys
way
have
I
such a
look at it.
great, unique sound, is because all four of you sort of have the same combined background musically, like, with the heavy metal and the hard rock, but yet everybody's from a little different area and a different place in the scene.
Yeah,
And then it all
yeah,
works when it comes
exactly.
together with the four of you guys. That's a great thing. I mean, Mark came from more like power metal bands back in the '80s, and then you
Yeah,
and John with the
exactly. Yep.
Blood Feast, Without End and stuff like that, got more of that thrash, and
Yeah,
so it's all working out, I think.
yeah, yeah. Well, John's even a little younger than me, so it's like, but he's really seasoned and he knows his stuff, and so he goes from anywhere from like, listening to like, old school, heavy metal stuff and blues or whatever. He's like one of those guys. He's on all types of different type of guitar players. To like death metal stuff. He had the death metal band. Him and Kevin Kuzma, the original drummer from Blood Feast. He had a band with Kevin. That's how that whole thing kind of came back up. That whole thing. It's a long story, obviously, but him and Kevin had a band called Anunnaki, which is straight up
Yeah.
kind of death metal stuff.
Yep.
He knows that. He's been schooled in that too. And he played with a lot of older guys too, because he's that good. He's got that great kind of great experience, and so he's also played with guys that are a little older than him over the years. So, but he's done a lot of stuff. So and it's all coming out now. All the work that's been put in over the years, now it's kind of coming out, and in this project, which is we're all lucky to be part of. At least I consider myself very lucky to be part of it. So,
Well, I'm glad you're a part of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Maybe I'm like a brand new kid, like, like,
Well, that was good because you know what? It happened so fast. You didn't have time to steam or lament over the whole Blood Feast thing because you moved right into the next
Exactly,
phase
yeah.
of music. And because you could really, when you say to yourself, "I put 20 years into this thing, and this is the shit that happens," you can really start boiling under the skin with that. So I'm glad that this kind of like jumped right in your face right before you got to that point, and you directed all of your
Yeah.
energy into this new project and this new band.
I even see, when we first physically got together in the room, and he had one song, two or three songs like written, and I only had like one, I already had some stuff written lyric wise right before we started getting together, and I said, all right, listen, let's not waste each other's time. Let me know, if this ain't working for you, tell me. And after that first night we got together, I was able to fit the words together to the music that they had written. That turned out to be the first song, Bastard Skull. And everything got approached as song number 1, song number 2, song number 3, song number 4. So
Got it.
none of them had proper titles. They were always the number. And we worked on them numerically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, that's how we worked on them, So, and we would, after we finished number 4, we moved to 5, and so on. So just now, I'm kind of bouncing around because we got about, I forget how many we got now, but I'm kind of, adding more to this, and then maybe I'll take something I'll put over here, So now I'm kind of experimenting, which is cool. But I told them, I said, listen, let's not waste each other's time. Let me know if you're not working for you. Tell me. And they were like, at the end of the first rehearsal, they were like, all right, great. Moving on. And I was like, okay, cool. So that was that. And that's how that worked out. So that discussion never came up again. So we're working. We're in business. So we're doing what we have to do.
That's all that matters. And if you ever have to get to it, you and
Yeah.
John can commiserate about the days of Blood Feast and talk all the shit you want because you
No,
both kind of
yeah,
lived,
no, believe me,
lived through it.
We've had our conversations, and it's but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be where I am without that experience, and I mean, not to comment on it too much, but the thing was, it kind of happened so quickly, but kind of knew it was going to happen, It's kind of a weird story. It's hard to say, but I knew it was coming. But
just
I
didn't know
didn't
when.
expect it. moment when it did happen, but I was like, well, oh yeah, there it is, like it's gonna rain, you just don't know when it's gonna rain, and all of a sudden you go,
Yeah.
oh okay, there it is, yeah. So and I was like, and at the first I was kind of like, I thought, oh man, I'm crushed up, I wasn't as crushed as I thought I would be. Although it kind of lingered with me a little bit, you know what I mean? Because, it was like, they decided I wasn't good anymore or whatever it was, you know. But, yeah. And moving on. That's the
And
thing.
that you did. Hey Tom, I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
go because I want to play some music. We're gonna wrap up tonight's show in a little bit. But man, you guys did a killer job on this record. I know Wormhole Death is gonna probably put this out, do a great job on the packaging, and I can't wait for the next one to come out, man. And the next time you guys are playing anywhere in the New York, New Jersey area, I'm gonna come out. I mean, we probably live about 10 minutes away from each other, but I'm gonna have to travel an hour to see you play live somewhere.
Please stay in touch, bro. I'm always on Facebook. So, yeah,
I
definitely
will,
stay in
buddy.
touch.
You got it.
Yeah, Mike, good to hear you, man. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you doing what you did. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for all the great music, Tom. And we're gonna play some more songs off the record right after this.
Thank you, bro. Take care, man.
Take care, buddy. Bye bye. All right, Tom Lorenzo from Bastard Skull. We're going to get new music from them. I hope that the interviews are coming through okay because after Skype went out of business, I found an alternate service. And I mean, on my end, I hear a lot of echo and a lot of feedback. So plus, Tom was doing an interview from his car radio, so that was also not working right either. But hopefully, they are coming through pretty good. But let's get on someone who Bastard Skull. Here's Beyond the Fray.
Ripped and torn, scratched and bleeding. My head hurts, the pulses make waves. Blood, scarred, blood and steel.
there you go. Brand new Bastard Skull. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Beyond the Fray. Uh, we're down to the last half hour of the show. Hey, next week, Frank Foray from Ninth Circle will be on the show. Also, Jimmy Waldo from Alcatraz. Don't forget to tune in next week. I can't believe we only got one. What do we have? 1 week left of June. Then we're going into July. This year is flying by. I've hardly even gotten into my pool. It's killing me. We've had such cold weather here in New York. It's the middle of June and it's going down to the 40s at nighttime. It's 60 during the day. I mean, it keeps saying it's going to warm up. I'm hoping it comes soon because even though my grandkids jump in the pool and love it, the cold don't bother them. I'm kind of a pussy these days. I need that bath water in my pool. So we got to get the warm weather coming in. Hopefully this will be the last cold week we have here in New York City. It was a whole cold winter. It's just continuing through the spring and the fall. All right, let me see. Christian wanted to hear Sacred Few, so we're going to get that on for him in a few minutes. A week or so ago, we didn't do the show the week before last. I was on vacation. I saw Tony Dolan from Venom Inc. Putting up a post about some merchandise company, not to buy stuff from them because it's like a bootleg company selling bootleg Venom Inc. merchandise. And I couldn't help but think, isn't the whole band of Venom Inc. a bootleg band? I mean, there's only Tony in there. I mean, I wish he never would have did Venom Inc. I wish he just would have kept it as Empire of Evil. I mean, the two Venom Inc. albums they made were good, but it was the same as Empire of Evil. They just changed the name to accommodate a promoter in Germany who wanted them to come out and do a Venom show because he couldn't get the regular Venom there. So which is really just Kronos today, but so he made them change the name to Venom Inc. He asked them to change the name to Venom Inc. and they just kind of rolled with it. And it had a little bit of credibility when it was, when Abaddon was in the band, the Mantis was in the band, but they're not in the band anymore. And it's just Tony, and they go out there and they play. They don't even really play a lot of the originals. They play mostly old Venom songs. So I kind of found it funny that he thought, don't buy bootleg merchandise from this, but he's a bootleg band in my opinion. And I like Tony. I do actually love Tony. He's a great guy. Been on my show many times. But just, it's time to pack it in. Just go back to Empire of Evil. That's all. All right, let's get on Sacred Few for Christian. Here's Beyond the Iron Walls.
Wasn't Dangerous. Take 3.
The city. I've been badly abused. Now I'm in need of some pity. Got stiffed by a dreamboat queen. Get her eyes on my money. Ain't got too much to lose, no money, money or honey. Gonna get myself a gun. I'm going out for fun. It's you. It's danger you, it's danger me, it's dangerous, us, dangerous, it's danger you, it's danger me, it's dangerous, us, dangerous. Don't know nothing about nothing, nothing matters to me. I take what I want when I want it, leave the rest for free. Hey, 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 my, gonna get myself a gun, I'm going now. It's danger you, it's danger me, it's dangerous, us, dangerous. It's danger you, it's danger me, it's dangerous, us, dangerous. Bend over, I'll drive, honey. like a scream in the distance. I can reach your mind. Now don't try to resist it. Open wide and you will find I am coming for you. So don't you try to hide. You are the one for me. Can't you see? You're the one. You are the one for me. Can't you see? You're the one. Moving like a bullet through the violent mass. I'm finding no passage. I've come to you at last. Holding on tight as I take you away. Now, time is right. I'm living for today. I have come for you. One thing I've got to say. Distance, it's the thought that you grew, knowing in yourself that your dream has finally come true. You don't believe it, it's finally up to you. I can't conceive it, the way you do the things you do. You are the one for me. Can't you see? You're the one. You are the one for me. Can't you see? You're the one. You are the one for me. Can't you see? You're the one. You're the one. You are the one.
Alright, we kicked off that set with Christian with Sacred Few, Beyond the Iron Walls. Next up was Wrathchild, when they were just Wrathchild before they became Wrathchild America. I caught those guys at Lamore's a couple of times when they were Wrathchild. They were great, man. They were just like a good heavy metal band, a power metal band. And then they got a little bit more progressive when they changed the name to Wrathchild America, in my opinion. It's funny because they were sued by the Wrathchild from the United Kingdom for using the name because they had it first. But then somewhere down the road, the Wrathchild became Wrathchild UK, didn't they? Because somebody sued them, I guess. I don't know. It's just it's a name game. Then right there, Asian Steel, Let It Be Done, The Day at Guyana. I didn't realize that Chuck Profis, the original drummer, passed away. Christian had told me about that in the beginning of the show, so I figured we'd get on something for him tonight. And then we closed it out with Leather Nun, You're the One. All right, we're down to the last 15 minutes of the show. We're going to play Wings of Steel. This is a 10-minute long song. It's a barn burner, in my opinion. This is called Winds of Time. We're going to play this. We'll wrap it up with one more tune, and then we're going to call it a night. So I want to wish everybody once again a happy Father's Day out there. But I'll be back on before we close it. So here you go. Brand new Wings of Steel, Winds of Time.
Spreading lies, insanity, pass it off as liberty. Camouflage democracy, fight, kill, die. Living fast in travesty, falsify humanity. Trumps of war triumphantly beat you down. Fire smoke and strategy, confiscate reality. Camouflage democracy, fight, kill, die. On and on it goes. The flame that burns the candle, the wave that sails the sea, the shadow of the rainbow, the rider of the wind, who pays the price for power, who's left to play the fool. To them you're just a number, subjected by their rules.
Brand New Wings of Steel. There was some blistering guitar playing on that track. I want to thank Tom Lorenzo from Bastard Skull for being on tonight's show. Don't forget, next Sunday night, Jimmy Waldo from Alcatraz, Frank Ferry from Ninth Circle. I wish everybody happy Father's Day once again. I will see you guys next week. Let's wrap it up here with the Little Metal Church, Gods of Wrath. I don't know what's going on with the band. I mean, Kurt Vanderhoof said that he had back issues and he couldn't play or perform, but yet he's put out a couple of records by his other bands, he's done videos and everything else, so maybe Metal Church is done. Who knows? But let's go back to the glory days. Here's Gods of Wrath. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.
Lonely God you captured, do you feel the pain? Tried to help the people, but your help was all in vain. You gave to us their fire, but who was watching you? Chained and eyes are bleeding, now what you gonna do? Has been taught. Join us now in vengeance and let the bodies rot. 1,000 times 1,000 is finally gonna end. The storms of war brewing. We need your help, but when when they left you hanging there, cast out and abandoned, you had to pay the fare. Now's the time to break free and help us if you can. 'Cause we're all behind you to stop the master plan.
let it all